In Joe Biden's economy, we're all looking for ways to preserve our bank accounts. And one way to do that is to boost your card's trade-in value. And here to take us through the 6 steps on how to do just that is Lauren Fix, automotive expert. And Lauren, you wrote this article on a line. So let us know, how do car owners get the most out of their used vehicles?
Well, a lot of times it makes sense to keep the vehicle you have, but then people think, you know what, it's getting old. I've got more expenses than it needs to be done, and so I tell people to do their homework. I know no one likes to hear that, but that means find out its current value. You can use websites like cars.com or Auto Trader. There's a bunch of different websites you can go and find out. Kelley Blue Book, find out what the value of your vehicle is. Once you figure that out, you can make it at least an assessment to say, geez, this is going to be enough for me to get a new vehicle or not. So that's like the number one thing I always tell people: do your homework, and then take care of those known mechanical issues. If the delay was because you thought, well, the costs are going to be a lot, should I trade in this vehicle? I always tell people, here's the rule of thumb. It's not even in the article, so I'll give you an extra tip. The extra tip is, if the repairs are more than the value of the car, repair what you can and sell that vehicle. Never invest more in a vehicle than it's worth. So you wouldn't want to put $10,000 into a $5,000 car, because you're never going to get your money out of it. So, but if there's little things like check engine lights, or geez, it needs tires, I know it needs some basic maintenance and an oil change, do all that before the trade-in, and then keep those receipts. It's really important. And that'll give you a better trade-in value as well. And then make sure it looks its best. That's really important. Like you were selling your home, you'd want to stage your home. In this case, you want to stage your car. So think of it like curb appeal. You would put like fresh flowers out if you were selling your house. And in this case, you want to clean the garbage out of the center console, out of the glove box, things out of the door. Make it look like the car is always kept neat and clean. And all of that will definitely increase your resale value, because any dealer that's looking to purchase this car is going to say, wow, this car is really clean. We don't have to do much to it. We should put it on the lot and sell it right away. And that's a huge value boost to you, because if they don't have to put money into it, whether it be cars, whether it be maintenance or cleaning it, that means that you'll get more money. And all of that will definitely boost your trade-in value or your sale value. And that's part of some more tips. Shop around for that trade-in value. A lot of times you'll be looking for a new vehicle. You always want to keep the deal separate. So when they ask you, are you trading in a vehicle? Say, I'm not sure yet. Make the deal on the vehicle you want. Keep it a clean, separate deal. Then say, I do have a trade-in. Can you give me your best price? Now, they will, and you will get the sales tax credit, and that's really important. So if the car that you're trading in is $10,000, you'll get $10,000 of credit in sales tax toward your newest vehicle. Now, if you're leasing, that won't necessarily apply, but if you're purchasing a vehicle, it does. So if that's not the case, you can always shop it around online. There's plenty of places that will buy your vehicle. CarMax will buy it. There's a bunch of other places you can look online to sell the car to them. They'll just purchase it outright and write you a check. That is also a great option. Also, negotiate that car trade-in value separately. So when you do, you can say, now I've got the purchase of the vehicle and the purchase of the car. If you try to do it all together, they'll try to bundle it all in one, and you are getting shortchanged. Happens a lot. They'll say, well, we'll take your trade-in, and then we'll give you like wholesale for your trade-in, but you're paying retail for the car. That's why you always want to do that separately. You'll save money and you'll get the best value, because obviously you don't want to find yourself in a difficult position. Also, never trade in a vehicle that's what we call upside down in our business. That means you owe more on it than it's worth. So just keeping with that $10,000 value, just because it's a simple number. If your car is worth $10,000, but you owe $15,000 on it, keep the vehicle, repair it, maintain it as best you can until you're at least down to equal to its resale value. You never want to owe more on it, because what they'll do is they'll say, well, we got you covered. We'll pay it off. Sure, but they're rolling that a dollar amount into your next vehicle. And that's where you'll end up paying for that vehicle years down the road, and you'll never get out from underneath the previous vehicle. So, and it can roll on and on and on into the next vehicle. So find yourself paying that off, or at least paying it down as much as possible. And there's ways to pay it down early by making double payments. Paying an extra $100 a month will also help pay off that vehicle as quick as possible. And then the last thing is your trade-in value. You never want to trade in a convertible in the middle of winter, or a 4x4 in the middle of summer, because during the fall, people are starting thinking, you know what, I could use an all-wheel drive vehicle. I'm in snow if you live in the upper half of the country. What a great time to trade in a 4x4 and all-wheel drive, because they know customers are coming in looking for it. Just like in the spring, you would be looking for a convertible, which you wouldn't in the middle of winter. What a great way to get a deal for the next customer, because the dealer who's buying it is always looking at who's going to buy it and when they're going to buy it. And that's also true when you're going to buy a new vehicle. Remember that at the end of the month, that's when they're the most negotiable. You know, the 29, 30, 31st, they want to make a deal because the first of the month rolls around and that's when things change. They paid what they call floor planning or the financing on that vehicle, and then they're not going to want to negotiate until the end of the month. So anytime you buy a car early in the month, you're not going to get your best deal. You're going to get your best deals at the end of the month where they're very negotiable, and you'll be surprised. They will not let you walk out of the dealer. They'll want to make that deal happen.